Welcome to The Source with your host, Dr. C.T. Curry, and co-host Kobe Owens. News all across the nation. The Source. Stay in the loop in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. Work together for change in the community. A call to action to find the resources. The Source, the latest in news.
Good evening. This is Dr. Curry.
This is Kobe Owens.
And welcome to The Source. Kobe, I am very happy, excited about the fact that I don't have any reports of any shootings or murders that occurred in our city once again, unless you know of some that I'm not aware of.
I do not know of any, which is a good thing to not know.
Yeah, so hats off one more week for Chief Campos, and we appreciate what is happening in our city. We're moving in the right direction, and I think that's going to be very important, that as we are moving in the right direction, we continue to congratulate and move forward. But today, I really want to spend some time really digesting as well as dissecting the whole Reading Consortium meeting that took place last week. Kobe, I before I get into some of the specific things I want to talk about, one, I'm glad the decision that they went the way it went.
Mm-hmm.
I was not an advocate for any of those three options initially, because I felt Wilmington needs to we need to have somebody focusing on our children. They're so far left behind, not because they desire it to be, but because the system has done this to them, that we needed to just do something there. But when I realized that that's not an option, we can't just say what I want and I'm walking away from it. And when I realized the three, I thought, and I supported it, I even came out in public comments and I talked about the whole united one district for the northern Newcastle County.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the group kind of overall kind of felt the same way before they did the final vote.
Yeah, I think it was interesting that they did the two rounds.
Yes. Yeah.
One where people got to be a little more honest about where they stood, but then some of them took the hard vote and flipped their votes in order to move things along. Again, I want to give hats off to Darrell Green. I know he took it very hard.
That was a shock vote for me. When he came in, I spoke with him and I said hi to him because I have not seen him in a while. But that was a little shock because he works for people.
Yeah.
And when I saw that he did share his truth in the front end, saying which one he would go with, but when he saw the reality, he did not buck the system, and I thought that was just awesome.
Yeah, I think between him and Joe Jones from the Votex School District,
yes.
I think those two votes there, voting in favor of moving this forward, shows that they understand the bigger picture and understand the impact on our students that this is going to have. Hopefully, it will be done in a timely manner. But I think they all had school boards to answer to when they originally said where they stood with the river plan.
Yeah, and I know that the mayor was very much for the river plan as well, and he made that clear. But he also saw the writing that in fact, his comment during the vote was, "I can count."
Yeah.
But I'm glad he did, because he didn't have to shift it and change his opinion, but he changed his vote. I think because he recognized of the three options, that option at this point was going to go through, and to be a team player would be very much important, especially for the mayor of the city of Wilmington.
Yeah, I think so. And I think one of the things when it comes to the mayor, one of his trusted advisors, Kevin Kelly, was a huge advocate of the river plan. Carney, who's been around a very long time, also knew about the old river plan and everything like that. And like I said before, continuing with the segregation of our kids and dividing them into two different school districts is not the answer.
Yeah.
We need everyone to be in.
Especially, I keep cutting you off today because I'm so on fire for what happened. But especially where one of the school districts displayed an outright racist
Yes.
opinion of our children
Mhm.
and said it out loud.
Yep.
So to force our children into that type of system, and I think that's what I said when I stood up, just to force them to be a part of a system that don't want you. It's going to increase the suspicion rate. It's going to still take away the services because they're not going to give them the same services because they don't care about them anyway. So
Mhm.
I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but
No, I agree with you. I think one of the biggest things when you look at that is you look at how the school board president and how the
Yeah.
school board reacted when Redding was there for that meeting. Not just the public commentary from the parents and everything, but from the people who are at the top of the district, right? Their commentary. And again, continuing to divide the city is the issue that we're having right now. So I was disappointed to hear that he was only voting for it because he could count the numbers, and not that he was actually listening. And if you heard his comments, and again, I have given praise to him when he's done something good, and I will hold him accountable when I don't agree with him. You are the mayor of the entire city, and he needs to get that through his head. There's Brandywine School District is on the north side. In his comments, he talked about the east side. He talked about the west side. Whenever he talks about something, it's always the east and west side. It's never about the north side. You represent the entire city. It's the north side kids that are suffering the most right now.
Wow, that's interesting. I never even thought I didn't even see that. So I hear you.
But because he didn't win that area, just like Pazicki didn't win that area, they forget about that. And the reason why they can't win over there is because they continue to ignore that area. You talk about all the investment that went in to the east side. Let me just say something very clear. I have the utmost respect for Maurice Pritchett, but he would be upset probably with the conditions of the students' academic success in a building named after him. Y'all did this little cosmetic fix. We'll give them a new building so I can campaign on. But school scores did not change. The superintendent of Christina, who was the interim interim principal of Maurice Pritchett, said she didn't see any issue. And she voted no on changing the school districts. That shows you right there the disconnect from people who have been long removed from the classroom.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, the children that go to Maurice Pritchett need more resources.
Well, that came out. That came out because I kept talking about the $84 million project, but that came out that there's, because there's not the right focus and attention and resources available to the children over there. A lot of them are in the same exact, just in a better looking building. Same predicament, same lack of resources, but just in a better looking environment or building. And I think that is true. And it's interesting, but I hope that with the mayor hearing all the comments from some of us who really represents this side of the world, that he will then shift to saying, you know what, let's make sure that whatever this design looks like, it will certainly reflect all children in Wilmington, not just certain children in Wilmington. And I think that's going to be really important. So when it was all said and done, it looks like we almost had a unanimous decision.
Yeah. 19 to 3 or to 2, or no, to 3-3. There was a few individuals that were absent or a vacancy.
Right, but then the one person who did not vote, or was it two people who said no vote?
There was one person that said no vote, which was Senator Buxton, from Dover, Kent area. That's the Republican.
That's really interesting. But go ahead.
And then the school board, or the educator union president, DSEA's president, also went not voting.
Right.
And the rest, the two superintendents, Dr. Joyner and Dr. Lawson from Brandywine and
Christina.
Christina and Brandywine were the 2 no votes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. And quite naturally they want their jobs. So,
Yeah.
but that's why we're giving Green some credit, because in actuality he could have gone along with the other ones. But I was glad to see what happened with the VOTEC superintendent. I thought that was really powerful too. So you really kind of brought.
And I want to talk about the VOTEC school district because they weren't included in this process, but Joe was at the table. But also they're fighting for funding right now. They have things that work. And if you look at it, right now, college is unattainable for the vast majority of students. I'm just going to keep it 100, right? It's too expensive. Graduating seniors don't have the support system that they need to go forward. And I think what he is doing over there and the programs that they have built, I think we really have to look at making sure that they're fully funded in this program as well too. And move forward with making sure that they operate strongly, but also this new district operates strongly as well too, because they cover the whole entire county. So it is doable under one district.
And I agree with having the VOTEC system because our children are so far behind. We can't say let's pick up from here and get them caught up, because it's going to take some time to get our children caught up. The VOTEC option helps them to be able to function in a society that really left them behind.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. And I know, like a project I just recently learned from VOTEC was that they had the youth there that go to school in the wood shop and carpentry and all that. They were actually working on building the homes on Bennett Street, right? They got a few homes that they got to build under supervision, under apprenticeship, so that they come out and they are certified already, ready to go into a job. So I think programs like that, we need more of as well too, when looking at the whole needs, right? Because why do we see high violence, right? It's because, okay, I can't go to college, I have no trade, what else am I gonna do?
Absolutely. And that's why the two systems are very much important. I'm kind of glad that we will still have a strong VOTEC program, but resources are needed. We don't want to get that lost, and you were absolutely correct on that. Now, in the middle of one of the things that even though the superintendent did not make any racial statement, well, if you pay attention to her words, some of them, she was like, we are community and you could feel like you outside if you're not in our community. All of that, in my opinion, as I was listening to her, was still dog whistles, I guess you would call it. But Brandywine School District is what really got some of us really unnerved. When they said things out loud that we knew as a reality. We knew they didn't care enough about our children. We knew that they felt our children were trash and that they did not deserve to be near their children, because that's really what they were telling us. And I think it leads me to the bombshell, or what do you call it when the person came in saying he hate black people and using the N-word? He said it so many times and people were flinching and trying to find a way to cut off. I was sitting there just listening, because the truth of the matter is this is what they really believe.
Yeah, they already said it. And I know they try to say, oh, it was a bot and everything. I think it was a real person, to be honest.
I do too.
But again, this is, you can't sit there and say, oh, let's have a kumbaya moment after this and talk about our feelings, right? When y'all don't do that for the students.
Right.
Y'all don't do that for people who are still developing and learning and have to deal with this in their own classrooms with their administrators and everything. Because let's not forget, the school board at Brandywine School District voted to keep a principal who said the N-word multiple times.
Yeah.
Not only did he say it to the students, he confirmed it to educators, to teachers there who were black, that I said it and I'm going to keep saying it. And that same school board who's now sitting there like, oh, why is everyone calling us bad and racist, voted to keep them.
Yeah.
Only two people voted to get rid of them. And that was Reverend Perry, who's no longer on the school board, who was a black woman, and Kim Stock, who is a Asian woman who is a teacher in Red Clay. That shows you, right? So Kim is still there now. But other than that, there's no African Americans.
Yeah, and that's another thing with this whole with these school boards. Why isn't there a criteria to be on the school board?
That's a very good question.
I mean, because you elect a person doesn't mean this person had the best interest. Because a lot of times people have the worst interests of why they are on these school boards, and they're just kind of like pushing the agenda of racism, pushing the agenda of their personal profiting.
Yeah.
And just like you had a city council person, and I'm not going to say any names today, but if she makes me mad, I'll start saying names. But we got a city person who came in late and was totally wrong. I mean, coming in, I heard this city council person telling members of the don't vote for the single district. Don't vote for it. And then she was criticizing Namdi and saying he got to go. And whatever my opinion is of Namdi or anybody else, you know, I hold that as my opinion. But she came in late. I thought she was under the influence of something. And I still feel that was the truth of the matter. But she came in wrong. She came in trying to disrupt the meeting. And all because I think, I don't have any proof of this, but I really do think someone is paying her to talk, because there's some connections, I'm told through my resources, where some relatives may have some contracts with some of these school districts. And I'm concerned about that. I'm gonna say it slow and I'm gonna say it again. I'm told through my resources, and I have pretty good resources, that this city council person has relatives who have contracts with some of these school districts, and to bring them all together, risk the contracts staying in place. Transportation contracts. This is unacceptable, Kobe.
No, I agree with you, and I didn't see her when she first came in, but it was brought to my attention, and I saw her working the room as they were about to take their final vote. Again, I just want to be very clear. The rest of City Council was unified behind the Northern Newcastle District. You had the president of City Council. I organized a letter of support. And you had the president of City Council read that letter. You had myself, Councilman Hackett, Councilman Spadola, Councilman Johnson, who was there in person to support the president as he read that, and we all went on stage with him. You had Councilwoman Harley, Councilwoman McCoy, Councilwoman Cabrera, who were all online supporting what was going on, right? We understand that even though we may fight one another,
right?
We may not always agree. This was bigger than our personal beefs.
Absolutely.
I will say directly into the camera, I do not like Nnamdi Chukwuka. I don't think he's the best representative that we could have down in Dover. But on this issue, he was correct. And like I said, I will give people credit where credit is due. And me and him disagree on a lot of things, but we agreed on this.
Yeah. His statement was very good too, I thought.
It was.
I thought he really well.
Wish he would have did more work a few years ago, but I'll let that go. We got to the vote, right? We got to the point, and I will say this. I know he got to give his long statement, but let's be honest. None of that would have happened without a Black woman, and that was Tizzy Lockman. Who, even before she became a state senator, she is a research nerd. She's into the data, into the social determinants, and she has worked her butt off to get us to this point. And I think she has done a really good job at pushing this forward, getting it to this point. And I know her job isn't done, and I know she's taking a lot of heat for this. But we have to be better as a people of supporting our own as we're trying to make true change. And those actions that we saw right before that vote go directly against that.
Yeah. What we're going to do, Kobe, is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back. Before I go to the Kobe Corner, I want to talk about, for those who are watching us, I want them to understand that we're going with the Newcastle County 1 district, how it can work for Wilmington. I want to take a segment and just do that. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Smiles are powerful. A simple smile can light up a whole room. And for 25 years, Smile Train has been lighting up the world with smiles. And each smile marks a step towards a brighter future. As the world's largest cleft lip and palate charity, Smile Train has supported more than 2 million life-changing cleft surgeries in over 90 countries, leaving a legacy of resilience, joy, and beaming smiles for generations of children. To learn more about cleft lips and palates and how Smile Train is supporting the cleft community all over the world, please visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, lighting up the world with smiles for 25 years.
Not today.
I'm here. You can tell me anything.
I see you. We're in this together.
Breakthroughs are happening.
Treatments are evolving.
The stats can change.
Society can change.
We can all say, not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
If we're together, bound to be better. When we're together.
And we're back. I just wanted to just make sure, Kobe, that in all of our discussion today, that it's clear to those who are watching us, what this could look like if it's done successfully. People think one big district and our children gonna get lost in that big district. But if they fragmentize it out with equal resources now, I don't want to misunderstand that, this could really work. What is your opinion on that?
It should not be equal resources.
Okay.
I think it has to be a weighted resource system where
based on
you
need.
put more money where the need is
Okay, I
in the
understand
school
that.
district.
And for those who are watching, what Kobe is simply saying is, if you have more IEPs in the northern part of or in a certain district or whatever they're going to call them, then you need to make sure that the funds are there. You cannot give a child who is an A student the same level of resources you give a student who is struggling with a learning disability and things of that nature. That's what Kobe is saying. He's not talking about the black kids should get this and the white kids should get this. He's talking about their ability to where the child is. I'm sorry, Kobe.
I think one of the things that this district, right, when you do this one consolidated district, should have the power to do is create a subdivision that focuses in and hones in on the educational success of students in low performing, high need areas, right? Mm-hmm. So again, when I say that, I don't just mean Wilmington, right? And again, this is my NAACP hat on right now. You have Wilmington, you have the Route 9 corridor area, you have the Newport area as well too, right? And you have parts of the New Ark area that also need help, right? It is very telling that all 4 school districts, wherever there's a majority of minority students, those are the worst performing schools. Not because the kids don't understand the learning, it's because the resources aren't there for them to learn culturally appropriate and competent learning.
Okay.
Right? They don't, I have seen, and again, I'm speaking from my Brandywine Red Clay experiences, I have seen both school districts engage parents in a different manner based on their skin color. They engage a African-American parent as more of an obstacle.
Mm.
Where the white PTA mom who's just, I'm going to be honest, annoying, always talking, always calling, always emailing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's just really involved. She wants to make sure little Timmy's doing well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they bring her in. Oh, well, we have this additional program. You want to put your son in that? They don't say that for the black
Understood.
mom.
Yeah.
So they have to treat everyone equally on that manner and as a partner, not as an obstacle.
Right.
So
So I know in Philadelphia we have one school district,
yes,
but we have different subs, and they
Mhm.
call them. They don't call them subdivisions, but they're called like offices.
Yeah.
The region, the Wilmington office, the whatever, but that's where all the resources flow from.
Yep.
From those offices. And when I start looking at it, even though I wasn't a proponent of either of the three, I start saying this could work because we could make sure that the Wilmington office has all the supplies and resources it needs in order to thoroughly educate, and our children can stay closer to home, not have to get on buses and go across the whole state in order to get into a certain school. And also, we'll be able to have parents who can get more involved in their schools because they can make it to a certain place in Wilmington as opposed to all the way up to Newark or wherever the school is. So involvement of the parent is more than just saying a parent should be involved. You have to recognize some people don't have transportation and things of that nature. So I thought this would be a great model. And one of the things I'm hopeful in this model is that we go to one board, and tell me your opinion on should or should not it be a board that is appointed by the state board.
I think the initial setup has to be that way. I think they will try to uniform it back to how school boards are voted on. My biggest thing is if I'm District A, only District A people should be voting for District A.
All right. All right.
We cannot keep doing this. All right, you got to live in District A, but District B, C, D, E, and F all vote on you. So now the people District A vote for someone else, but District B and everyone else voted for the other opponent. So the other guy in. What happened in Brandywine School District? That's exactly what happened. The person who won the city lost the overall race.
Yeah, and I think that makes very much sense. And for those of you who are watching, I just want to make sure that we're clear. You're saying, and I'm in agreement that if I'm going to be at the if I'm going to vote, if we're going to have one board, but five offices, let's just say it that way for the sake of argument. Each office should have a person that lives in that locale to be able to represent that on that board.
Yes.
So if I'm in the Wilmington's office, I have to live in the Wilmington area
Yes.
that office covers. Each office should have a representation on the board. I think that would work. I think that would work. And not only do I think it'll work, but it will stop all the politics. And whereas Brandywine would only have one vote for their area, as opposed to getting enough people on there where their whole group is Brandywine. I think that's good. What about superintendents? I'm not asking you which one you would think to be the best superintendent, but how do you think that process should go?
I think that's going to be the most important thing when you look at this in the State Board of Education, the governor, the mayor. All of us should have a say in the process of who will be that first superintendent who will set the foundation for this to either succeed or for it to fail.
And I'm gonna be straight with you now. You didn't say this because you're a politician and you got to be careful what you say. I don't have to be. And I said that, matter of fact, when I got up and talked, I said I'm not running for anything and will not be. But let me just say this to you. I think Green would really be my person, only because when I saw what he did at the table, he knew his politics. He understand, but he also know that if we're going to do this, we got to do it, and we can't keep kicking things down the road. So I think I'm going to be looking at the whole design. And for those of you who are watching us for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about this whole group, because we really got to get this right, because there's some strategic things we're going to have to do. We're going to get some buses together, and we're going to have to go to Dover. We're going to have to talk to people who live in different areas of the state, who have state representatives and who have senators they live in your districts, or live in your cousin's district or your aunt's district or your whoever district, for them to be calling their offices and saying, hey, we're going to have to make this pass, because what we cannot do is wait another 30 years to act on this.
Yes.
It has to happen right now. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back with the Kobe Corner, and we're going to promise you that we're going to continue to talk about this for weeks to come. We'll be right back.
Christopher Holton. I'm very active. It was a Saturday morning. Normally I go for my normal walk.
With no warning, Chris suffered a near-fatal heart attack. But thankfully, Brian Buckley, a bystander, saw him collapse and rushed to help.
He did this big gasp for air and then just stopped. It's like I went into autopilot. It's like all that training I did back in the day around CPR just magically came out of nowhere.
Because of the CPR training that Brian received, Chris did make it and didn't die on the trail that day. CPR training provided by the American Heart Association.
Looking at your hands, these two hands could save a life.
Being a father, you want to be around. You want to be around for your kids.
Heart disease is America's #1 killer. To learn more about how the American Heart Association helps save lives, go to helpheart.org. Life can throw a lot at us, but what helps us through it is knowing we have a place where we feel loved, grounded, and safe. A place where we belong. A place called home. But for thousands of youth living on the streets, there's no such thing as home. Out here, it's a predatory world that can destroy lives forever. At Covenant House, we care for homeless and at-risk youth, working in communities just like yours, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Here, these kids will get a shower, clean clothes, nourishing meals, and a safe place to sleep. Our caring staff teach life skills, offer stability, and encourage kids to believe in themselves so they stay off the streets for good. We're committed to giving lost, scared, and hurting children a place to go, a place to call home. To help or get help, go to safeplacetosleep.org.
One more time before you wake up in the wild. In your eyes, I see a flower slowly dying.
Together with the Nature Conservancy, you have the power to make a difference. For unspoiled nature, for beautiful wildlife, and for people everywhere. Together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive.
Oh, in the wild, you're gonna make it. The moonlight is here to take you.
Our natural world needs us now. Every day, we lose more lands, waters, and the wild species that depend on them. To learn more, visit nature.org today.
We are women first, but women with disabilities last.
During a military exercise, we crashed and I broke my neck.
When I was in the Air Force, an accident changed my life. I couldn't have imagined the injustices I would face.
Every day, women like me go to the doctor for annual checkups for conditions like breast cancer. Early detection saved my life. But women with disabilities face a cruel reality: inaccessible medical facilities and equipment.
In the 25 years since my injury, I have not seen a gynecologist. There's not one accessible OBGYN in my community.
I found lumps in my breast. I went to a doctor's office I was told was accessible, but when I got there, I couldn't get through the front door.
I don't know where I'd be today without access to testing. Our veterans deserve better. Help PVA fight for access at pva.org.
And we're back. Kobe, what's going on with the Kobe Corner?
Yeah, so as you know, there was a government shutdown earlier this year. While there was a vote to end the shutdown, in which Democrats in the Senate said that they would get a vote on extending key Obamacare, ACA, Affordable Care Act tax credits, that vote has not taken place yet. It has, but it has not passed the Senate yet because they cannot get to the 60 vote threshold.
So that's for the ACA?
For the ACA extension, yes.
No, you should the Congress have not voted on that.
The Senate has. It hasn't passed.
Okay.
In the House, though, The House has a discharge position because Mike Johnson said it's a non-starter. He's not putting it on the agenda. A discharge position is the same thing that they use for the Epstein report, where if you get the majority of members to sign a petition saying, hey, we're going to vote yes for this, it has to go to the floor so that they could take an official vote on it, but it pretty much guarantees that it is going to pass, right? So 4 moderate House Republicans have now joined the Democratic effort to force a vote on the aspiring ACA subsidies. Now, why is this important? Mike Johnson, leader of the Republicans, has been very clear he does not want this. The subsidies are supposed to expire at the end of December. So everyone getting ready for Christmas and New Year's. Yay, 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 celebrate, happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. No more health care for you. And on average, you will see your insurance, your health care increase by almost 50% at a minimum.
At a minimum, right?
At a minimum.
Yeah.
If this is approved, the measure will be extended for the customers of the ACA, or the clients, the people who are on it, for 3 years. Now that the 218th person has signed off on the petition, it now is supposed to be scheduled for a vote before they leave for session, which their last day is supposed to be Tuesday, December 23rd. We will see if Mike Johnson puts this on the floor like he's supposed to, or if he will back off.
But isn't it illegal for him not to put it on the floor?
It is, but then it would be a lawsuit, and by that time, the extensions will already be expired.
Do you think he would be that brazen to do that?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yes. And the 4 Republicans who signed on was Brian Fitzpatrick, Robert Brinson, and Ryan McKenzie. All 3 represent somewhere in Pennsylvania. And Mike Lawler from New York are the 4 that signed the petition. So if they are able to get it, then it comes down to the U.S. Senate, where they must get Republicans to get help. They must get Republicans to sign on with the Democrats to get to the 60 vote threshold to get this over the finish line.
Now, when it goes from the Congress, I'm just trying to make sure all of our viewers got it. When it goes over to the Senate, do they either vote it up or down, or if they make any modifications to it, then they got to send it back again?
Yes.
So you're saying, let's say we got to 60, because if they got 60, if they got the majority saying yes, it's going to go over there as it is. Okay. What do you think the Senate is prone to do? Yes or no? Do you think they're going to say yes, or do you think they're going to say no?
I think they're going to say no. Unfortunately, you need too many Republicans to sign on. You need 13 to come on board with this. So what you'll see is ones who are in competitive races, who know that this will negatively impact their base, they'll come on and sign for this. You'll see Lisa Murkowski. You'll see Susan Collins. You'll see Tom Tillis, who's retiring, right? You may either see like a wild card like Bill Cassidy in Louisiana, or, Joni Ernst in Iowa, who's retiring, right?
What about Florida?
Florida, I highly doubt.
That's the largest one who receives it.
It is. But I highly doubt that you will see either one of the senators from Florida come on board.
Interesting.
Those are the beginning places, right? After that, you may see Rob Portman from Ohio. You may see Roger Marshall from Kansas, who's a doctor as well too. May sign on, may not, right? So finding those 13 votes is going to be very difficult, especially when you have a president saying don't do it.
Well, he's losing a little power. I'm noticing that.
He is.
But not that much, but he's losing power.
So I don't know if this makes it through. I don't know if it makes it through the Senate, to be honest.
Wow.
So that's where we're at with that right now. So I'm gonna be following it over the break, and seeing where it goes, and hopefully by next week we can report, hey, never mind, they passed it, they shocked us. But as of right now, I have very little hope for them with getting this done. Next, I want to talk about SEPTA again. I feel like I keep talking about SEPTA. SEPTA now, after we were able to save the SEPTA line down here in Wilmington, they have now decided that they are going to close the ticket office down here, which offers a wide range of alternative fare purchasing options, as they state. So they don't need the office anymore. They're saying it's almost a $3 million operation to run this one office that has one person in it at a time, that has 2 staffers totally assigned to it.
So they must get $1 million each and plus $1 million to run it.
I guess they must have
I want
great
that
benefits. But again, this would truly harm people without smartphones, people who don't know online technology the best. And also, it is illegal to not have a cash option when it comes to purchasing items. And that's not just for SEPTA, that's for any business. They have to offer that cash option. So again, we hope that they don't do this. It is scheduled to close December 31st for New Year's Eve. And this would cut a lot of assets off from people. So here we go again, fighting with SEPTA, and fighting with the the Pennsylvania General Assembly on this.
Wow.
And then lastly, I want to take some time again to talk about Tent City here in Wilmington, Delaware. This past weekend, I helped give out additional blankets for the homeless, the heavy duty wool blankets. We got them from the Baltimore Red Cross, which is closing down. They gave us 300 of them. We gave out maybe about half. People who needed 2 got 2. People who wanted to use it for insulation between the ground and the floor, they're pretty thick. They're about this thick. They're full size bed size, so enough to wrap your body up in. But it snowed this weekend, and you have a ton of snow on the ground down there, but you have people who are living out in the snow right now next to the water, which is always going to be colder, right? You're just going to have a colder breeze there because you're right there on the water. I was on the task force, and on the task force, my colleague, Councilwoman Tish Bracey, and I pushed back on this idea of doing the tent city down here. Not because we didn't want people to have a place to go, but we felt as though that once you set up a tent city, the urgency would disappear.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened. These people need, I don't even care if we take an abandoned building, but something with 4 sides and a roof in which you can regulate the heat, the climate in there, and start from there. But living outside in these conditions is deplorable.
Yeah.
It's sad. Hearing the stories, and I go down there a few times a week. I talk to the residents. A lot of them are just on hard times. You have a man down there who is a structural engineer, but he had a drinking problem, lost his job, and now he works at the dollar store. But because his credit is shot, he can't get a place anywhere. You have people who are working for other businesses under the table, not making a livable wage, not making minimum wage. They're getting paid in cash, but they're working, they're trying. You have people who do have mental health issues down there. You have people who are on the cuffs. They know they're struggling. and they know what help they need, but they can't afford it. There's a woman down there, I call her the mayor of Tent City, who I didn't say I was a council person. I didn't say who I was. I was just bringing them food, right? And she watched me. I would see her watch me. She never would come get food from me. See her watch me week after week after week. Then finally we started talking. And then, I told her I was a city councilman and everything. I was trying to help, and what do y'all need? And she told me, she takes me around every time I go down there now and says, you can trust him. Tell him what's going on. While people were bringing throw blankets and stuff like that, she's the one who told me about the need for the heavy duty blankets, the need for tarps and everything. So I asked her, I said, how do you know so much about this? And she said she used to work for the Red Cross. And once she lost her job, she couldn't find a job anywhere else doing what she enjoyed, struggled in a new work environment, lost that job, and now she's out there. So you never know what your situation is going to be.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of complaints, a lot of Twitter fingers, a lot of people who are on social media complaining, who want to point blame, who want to say, oh, where's the churches? Oh, where's this resources? Where that resources? If you have time to comment on what's going on down in Tent City, you have time to go down there and show some compassion.
Right. That's right.
And if you can't organize yourself, volunteer your time. Take an hour, take 2 hours. But also hold the elected officials accountable. I'm trying to. We have a moral obligation to take care of every resident of the city of Wilmington. And me and the mayor disagreed on this because he blamed Philadelphia and outside entities for bringing people down here. Listen, at the end of the day, you've been recruiting to get people from Philadelphia to move to the city of Wilmington. You can't be mad because it's not the people you wanted.
Yeah. Interesting.
But they're here. And we have a responsibility to do something. So this it's been weighing on me a lot because I wish I had a big enough house to open it up, invite everyone in. We need to be very honest and true to what we're going to do strategically when it comes to promoting us as a city, but also promoting us as somewhere where we take care of our residents. And right now, we're not doing that to our fullest potential. So again, I just hope that we get better with that going forward, going into this holiday season, a season of giving, a season of caring and loving, but we have people who aren't being shown that same respect.
Yeah, and I join you in saying that, one of the things that we're doing on this Sunday here at this church is that we are having our cantata, and the offering that we're asking everybody to bring is socks, brand new socks, quilts, scarves, hats. So that on Christmas morning, my daughter started her own little organization. And she said this year, instead of just doing what we do, we want to add to it. So we're going to be all in many areas of the city, but we're going to start over there to try to add something, because we can't just keep talking about it. At some point, you got to do something. And I feel so bad. And I'm just glad that there are some people like yourself who has a genuine love. See, they can't even vote for you like other people can, and to have this level of advocacy for them matters. And I just, for those of you who watch us, I hope that you would just take some time, go down, give something, because it helps. Everybody's there is not there because, in fact, nobody's there because they want to be there.
Right.
But I think there are some people, because of circumstances, the economy is horrible, and we're going to talk about this when we come back with the president, because he just lies and lies and lies. But we are in a dangerous and a very desperate moment. and we need to help each other. We have to be neighbors to one another. We cannot just be neighbors to and nice to the people that we like, who look like us, who act like us, who talk like us, but we have to be neighbors to each other. This is what the Bible says. The Bible says, how can you say, and this is for those of you who love God. God said, how can you say you love me, whom you've never seen, and hate your brother, your sister, who you see every day? The homeless person on the street is just as much your sister and brother as the one who belonged to your church, to your synagogue, to your mosque. We have to love each other. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. MDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at mda.org today.
This land is your land.
This land we love belongs to all of us. Yet not everyone is treated equally. Right now, millions of Americans are fighting for the things promised to all by the Constitution. Learn how the ACLU is defending the right to vote, free speech, and other civil liberties at myaclu.org.
And we're back. Kobe, we will go down in history for electing the most prevaricating president in the history of the United States of America. I have never seen anyone with such conviction say lies to the level that this man has done.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the speech on Wednesday night?
I did. Well, I'll say this. I saw parts of it because I could not watch the whole thing. And I'm in quite a few group chats with Democratic operatives, with organizers, and all of them were going off. One earlier in the day, he had a tour of the White House, and on the wall on the outside, he has the wall of presidents now and gold plaques and everything. And the reporter noticed that for Obama, he added a description as the most divisive president in the history of America, the black man, who that actually may be true because the racists absolutely hated him. And under Joe Biden, he has Sleepy Joe Biden, all these other comments. And then under Bill Clinton, he puts a note, his wife lost to me, Donald J. Trump, in 2016. In his speech, he talked about him, and guess what? Himself. He stopped all illegal aliens from coming in to America. Since the day he was sworn in, not a single one has gotten into America.
What planet he's on?
Wherever he get that spray tan from. But it was, from the very beginning, it was concerning. And someone tweeted, like 2 minutes in, the fact-checking machine has already broken. He blamed immigrants for U.S. problems. He said that wages are up and inflation is down.
Just the opposite.
Please tell me where.
Yeah.
Because the minimum wage hasn't changed anywhere it's still $7.25 on the national level.
Right.
Delaware changed ours, but that's thanks to Delaware Democrats who voted to change that, because the Republicans here didn't. He said gas is under $2.
Yeah, $1.99. He said.
I don't think I've seen that anywhere.
Maybe we're in the wrong state.
I've been in East Coast states. I've been in West Coast states. I've been in the Midwest. I've been in the South. All in this year. And I have not seen a gas price under $2.50.
Right. Well, I'm glad you saw $2.50 because I didn't see that yet.
So I don't know what he's talking about. But it was very he promised an even bigger economic boom. He created a whole new website called Trump RX that you can buy your medicine from there without a prescription, without going through your insurance for 50% of the cost that it would. Skip the insurance. Don't worry about your insurance agency no more. Stop paying your insurance. Well, I may not like insurance, but I may only have a $20 copay with insurance. Why would I pay half?
Right.
So again, another Ponzi scheme from the, honestly, I don't even know what to call him at this point. He is a master manipulator who, again, like you said, can lie, and lie. And he says it with such passion.
Yeah, because yesterday.
That it's true. He brought peace to the Middle East.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they're still bombing each other. Yeah, they're still fighting. Yeah, there's still
peace.
children are getting killed.
But it's peace.
But he said it's peace, so it's peace.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this is going to how this is going to settle with a lot of people. But I know for me, I walked away more motivated to make sure that we take his power away.
Yeah. And I think that's going to happen. I think he's so afraid that when the midterms are over, he's not going to be able to do anything. He will be a real lame duck president. But I think he's still going to challenge the system, and he's still going to do. I just hope Jeffries is strong enough to be able to be like because I loved what's her name,
Nancy Pelosi,
because she was no joke. I mean, she while he was trying to get up, she was striking him back down. But I wanted to have that as our show as a show ender today because he just prevaricates to a level that is unbelievable with such conviction that it is truth. And it's just so sad. And we got to live under this. And there are people who believe him.
Yes.
And they're still standing by him. And if they don't vote in the Senate to pass this resolution to keep the ACA, I think that it's time for us to really figure out which place we want to be because this is just unbelievable. Last but certainly not least, Kobe, I did notice something in the meeting we had. We're going to go back to the Reading meeting and we got to get off the show today. But I noticed that you came into the room with a young lady on your arm. What's going on with that? I mean, I'm your co-host and I ain't never seen that before. What's going on with that before? Who's that?
Yeah, so her name's Bria. We've been together for a while. And I think that was our first like public meeting, like political meeting, together.
Okay, she's into the politics too, or
like
activism, or
activism.
Okay,
but again, I think this one has a huge implementation. She came from the Brandywine School District and everything.
Okay.
So she had some experiences that she wanted to talk about. And she actually saw some of her former principals, and we were at the Brandywine meeting together as well too. And she talked about, I'm not shocked that teacher just said that, right?
Okay.
Even though it's been 10 years, right? Which again shows the impact, right?
That's right.
It's been 10 years and the teacher is still the same way.
Yeah, because they just don't care about you people. Well, I just want you to know Pastor Curry is over at Easy and Fair when you're ready to tie the knot. And I'm sure you all was holding hands. I mean, it took me back. I was upset because I had a city council person I thought was drunk. And I'm trying to deal with that. And then see the hands holding and you just smiling and walking on air. like you had something to drink. And I said, my God, what is going on with Kobe? And then I see a beautiful young lady right there with him. And I was like, oh, Lord. But just know that the pastor over there ready to give you the nuptials. And I won't even charge. Matter of fact, I'll even give you the church. We can have it in the church if that happens. But how's your mother with her?
Good. Yeah,
because that's the matter.
Yes,
y'all boys,
it does matter.
Y'all boys, if mommy don't like her, then she might as well just give it up. Well, Kobe, it's great having you on the show. We're almost at this end of our time for this year.
Yes.
The Lord has blessed us tremendously to give out some good shows, and people are still watching us. So I think that we are relevant, and thank you for what you do for the community.
Yes.
And now that you got a little friend, I'm gonna see how that works out. It's gonna work out well.
Yes.
If there's anything else on your agenda today,
that's all I have. Again, Merry Christmas to everyone. Yes. I don't know if we're gonna do a show next week or not. Yeah. But again, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas. Take this time just to enjoy with your friends and families because we're in wild times.
Yeah, we're in wild times. But I think we are going to do a show both weeks. We're going to record a little bit earlier. Until the next time, God bless.
Take care, y'all.
All right. We are cleared.
You've been watching The Sword with host Dr. C.T. Curry and co-host Kobe Owens. Tune in every Sunday at 5 p.m. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest episodes.